Woo! Second video, yeah! We're all excited. Okay, so jump right in. Next question comes from Anonymous, and he asks, God, this anonymous person knows me quite well, or he actually reads my blog. He asks, he or she, whatever, they ask, did Wellington win at Waterloo due to his tactical prowess, or was it sheer dumb luck the Prussians came in time? You've probably asked the most discussed subjects of the Napoleonic Wars. Did Wellington actually beat Napoleon, or did he simply just survive until help came? I don't know. It depends who you talk to. There are usually three sides of the story. First, you have the loser side, France. And then you have the winning side, which has two different viewpoints. You have the more British version of the story that basically says, well, by the time the Prussians had arrived, Napoleon had well exhausted his forces, and Wellington was on the brink of losing, or not Wellington, excuse me, it's been a long day. Napoleon was on the brink of losing anyway. So, and then the Prussian side of the story basically says, oh, well, Wellington was hanging on by a thread, and had it not been for the Prussians, then he would have simply lost. As far as where my stance lies on this, I would have to probably say it's in the middle. I think that Wellington was a very competent general. He's the best defensive general in Europe. And just the way he positioned his troops at Waterloo, he completely exhausted Napoleon's forces throughout the entire course of the battle. Not to say that Wellington wasn't thinly stretched in places as well. The bottom line was Napoleon was attacking. Wellington just needed to, sit there and hold on. However, I do think that had the Prussians never arrived, both the British and the French side would have simply just exhausted themselves, and it would have been a stalemate, and probably not the epic victory that is idolized in British history today. So you can look at it that way. Though, I mean, I can't really put my opinion in just one side of the debate there. So, yeah. So we'll just go with that. I'll go with something in between. Yeah. So I'll do one more question because this video is relatively short. So Musing Matt asked me, have you been to the UK? If you have, what would you like? What did you like? And if you haven't, where would you go? I have been to the UK. I've only been to England. And I really enjoyed it. It was probably my favorite trip I've ever taken. For numerous reasons. One, I was with one of my best friends who I'd known for years, and we're both into the exact same things. We're both into history, food, drinking, and I don't know, just being with him, and then on top of that, being in a country that I had just been enamored with since I was a kid, like a little kid. I can remember being like 4 or 5, and my big dream was to visit London, and I don't know, I've always been an Anglophile, Britannophile, everything. I don't know, when I was living abroad in Finland, and in Europe and traveling in Europe in general. When I went to England, I kind of felt I don't know, it was a bit more like home for me, like not just because everyone spoke English, but just I don't know, because I mean, while we're very different, we Americans and Brits come from one root culture, and I don't know, it's just an amazing place, and I mean, because I'm a history buff, and like England practically invented history. Um, so yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really only went to three places in England. The East Midlands, London, and the southern coast. Like I want to say it was Dorset. Anyway, like Bournemouth and Weymouth, places like that, which were really nice. But I really enjoyed like the Midlands. It was just really this awesome region. Like I love farmland and I love countryside, and like the Midlands is like where you can go to really find that in England. Um, and I'm going to come back. It's not really a question of if, but it's when. In fact, a lot of my top grad school choices are in the UK. So I might see some of you guys in a year, maybe. Hopefully, it'll be just a year, maybe 2 years, but maybe hopefully within a year or so I can be back there and yeah, loving life. And yes, if there are places that I would like to go, had I not been, well, I have been, and there's still other places that I'd like to go. I'd really like to visit. I'd really like to explore more of like northern England, especially like Yorkshire and the Lake District. And of course, I really want to go to Scotland and Ireland as well. Um, so yeah, hopefully if I get over there for grad school, I can do all of that and see all of my amazing, gorgeous British followers. Um, okay, and the next question is kind of a loaded one, so I will do a separate video for that. Alright, ta-ta!